My name is Shay Edwards. This is my awesome husband, Octavius Jermaine Edwards Sr. We have an amazing oldest son, Octavius Jermaine Edwards Jr. And we have our youngest, newest addition to our family, Mr. Clyde Edwards. And this is our story. So being a part of the Grant Park Christian Academy and the FAMA Academy family, that was like huge in my career at that time because it was refreshing. We had an opportunity, coming from the secular industry as far as educational industry and coming over into this particular family, I want to call it. It was refreshing because we were a family that prayed. Not only, the kids getting up, saying their pledges to the American flag, the Christian flag, but to hear them pray. And of course, just the environment, like I said, professionally, that was just, very refreshing. To be able to have a place to kind of be free to allow God to use you without having to think twice about, oh, I can't say this, oh, I can't say that. And so I remember, it was probably the first or second day of school. This little boy, when I tell you, he'd come in wide open every morning. He was just like on fire. He would talk to the kids in his kindergarten class. He would talk to the teachers. He wasn't afraid of anything. Like, he'd come through the gym wide open, like, hi, good morning. And I remember we would have something to say. Every teacher on campus would have something to say about this little boy that would bright up our day, that we would have something to laugh at or something. And, never once really thinking that, this something may be a little different about him in pertaining personally in our personal lives. And I do remember, though, saying within myself, man, that little boy, I would love to take him home, just to take him home and introduce him to my husband, and I would talk to him about him a whole lot.
Just remember thinking, that he sounds a lot like me growing up, in his boldness and in his courage to just be who God made him, and wasn't afraid whether it was age, height, or anything. If he wanted to be a part of your group, he was going to make himself a part of your group. How Clyde came to be in Edwards? Well, it was after my wife making this amazing connection with this little guy that I've never met, but I get to hear about him all the time, so you feel like you know him, and he's already a part of your family. She came home about a week and a half, 2 weeks, saying, hey, Clyde hasn't been at school, and it's concerning me. And so I shared with her, I said, well, babe, being a principal, if there's something going on, then they actually legally have to tell you where he is. And come to find out, he had been placed into foster care and had been bounced around from house to house for about a week and a half. And it was bothering her to where she was losing sleep. And so obviously being, a concerned husband and trying to make sure that, your wife is at peace and can rest, because she has to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to be at school, to deal with these little people and effect change in their lives. I was actually at the time managing a timeshare site in Orlando, so I had about an hour and a half ride to work. So that's normally my time where I will spend time with God, and and he'll get to talking, and I get to listening. Being a kid that obviously I have a biological father, everyone does, but most people don't know my last name Edwards came from, quote unquote, my adoptive father, who adopted me when I was 3 months old. And God said, how dare you? And I said, well, Lord, what do you mean, how dare I? He said, the reason that this is tugging at your wife and it's tugging at you is because you're supposed to get this kid. He said, you are the product of a father who has loved you pretty much since birth, who has shaped you into the person that you are, and shaped you and pointed you in the direction of the life that you now have. And you need to do the same with this kid. So I called my wife after I finished crying. and accepting what the Lord's telling me. Not crying because, oh my God, I've got an older kid and now I got to start over, but just, Lord, how did I miss that? How did I miss that? And I said, Lord, you're right. And so I called Shay and I was like, babe, go get Clyde. And she was like, huh? And I said it again, go get Clyde. She's like, what you say? I said, go get Clyde. Call whoever you need to. I said, we're supposed to get Clyde. He's not supposed to be in that system. And I need you to go get him. And the rest is history. We went and got Clyde. And it was something that supposed to take months at a time. They were at our house, the next day, doing the case study. And the officer looks at us and says, hey, guys, don't get discouraged. This is going to take about a month and a half before the next person contacts you. So this is where my head was, well, okay, hey, babe, at least we started the process, so you can stop crying now and get some rest. We got the process started, and so off I go to work. I'm in a meeting, and my phone's buzzing. And it's like, okay, it's my wife, but I'm in a meeting with the VP and the other heads like myself, and my phone's buzzing. And so I looked at my regional director and said, hey, Cindy, I need to take this call. It's my wife. And I answer, and she's screaming, babe, I just got a call. Okay, about what? They're bringing me Clyde. Now, mind you, this is the next day. So I said, did you say they're bringing Clyde? Yes. I said, well, all right, God, you're doing your thing. When it's your will, you move heaven and earth to make it, the time frame that you want it. And I understood it because he had been bounced from foster care to foster care to foster home to foster home, all that week and a half, 2 weeks now, and had no stability. And so I looked at my director and said, hey, I got to go. That's how Mr. Edwards came to be. High five.
So we have a family-owned business. It's called Education Rebound. It's an educational company. And what we do is we empower students to regroup, strategize, and score. And we do that through 3 different platforms. The first platform is personal development workshops. We go into the schools and deliver social emotional learning skills. The other platform is the Ed Rebound Tutors, where we offer academic online tutoring. And we have a new one. So our oldest son does Ed Rebound Sports, and he offers the baseball clinics. And then we have the Education Rebound Kids, where Coach Clyde here, he actually offers YouTube trainings on YouTube for Bible and math. And so actually Clyde goes to a lot of the pitch competitions. When we first started the organization about 3 years ago, Clyde would actually go to the pitch competitions with us. He'd grab the mic and, explain a little bit about what we do. And he'd always say, we teach people how to do what? Teach people how to score. But he'd say, we teach people how to behave. Like, yeah. Pretty much. That was, yeah. And so basically he actually, he does some of our commercials, and just he has fun. He says he has fun sometimes. Sometimes he, yeah.